Well, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to say welcome to another edition of the program, The Bottom Line. This is the program that brings you information about Liberia and all of the happenings in Liberia and brings you information about the top people in the political arena. Tonight, we're going to have a jam-packed program, and of course, it's all based on the momentum shift towards the ANC stroke CPP, uh, and that momentum is happening right now in the southeast, where the CPP is making a country tour. But we'll be bringing you details of that. And tonight we have with us a guest that will be appearing on the show to discuss the issue with us. So we hope that you can stick and stay by your radio on Red Power FM in Monrovia. We also on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter as well. My colleague Paul Lelord shortly will be telling you more about most of what we do, our various platforms. But for now, we want to inform you that you can click the like button on our Facebook, follow us, and share the show. That's what we want you to do for us. Share with your friends, your family, your all of your contacts, and your various groups that you're in. And so tonight we have Paul the Lord Tripley along with Mark Kaifa. And my name is Linford Boy. We all are based in Europe, but we are beaming to you on your radio from Red Power FM in Monrovia. Moses, you are in studio. How are we on the radio? Are we okay?
Yes, we're okay. We're trying to be sure that we are very okay and loud and clear.
Okay. So, Paul, you, I keep seeing that small smile on your face. What's going on? You are muted, Paul.
I'm happy to see all of you. That's what I'm kind of cool and looking at you. I see the setting the guys have in the studio in Monrovia is looking good, and I'm excited to be here once more. Welcome to Butterline, the discussion. Yeah, this is the Lord Cholope from the great city of London. It's good to be here. I want to say good evening to our listening audience in Liberia, and good morning, good afternoon to our other listening audience part of the rest of the world. It's good to be here. And Linford, while our guests are sharing, people are sharing the show, is it
Mm.
possible that we play a little musical intro that while we're sharing and then while we wait on our guests to enter the studio? Welcome, Mark. How are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm doing great, and good evening to everybody, to my colleagues or fellow panelists, and good evening to the Liberian people. Greetings to the Liberian people back home and abroad, wheresoever you are. Welcome to the bottom line where we talk about the issue affecting our country and this coming election. How you guys doing?
Wow, very good, brother, very good. It's a sunny, beautiful day today in the UK here. I can say we in the summer now, so we good when the weather is good. Everybody put smile on their face, and I think Moses, you in the studio there. Tell a little bit about the country, man. How things on the ground? How's the rainy season? How's everybody?
Uh, when you talk about the rainy season, I smile because it is about this time that some of our citizens in the slum communities relocate. It is a tradition that when you are living in this imposed bridge area, you are living in Gardnersville in some places, you need to relocate during the rainy season because flooding is a problem. We have had issue with drainage cleaning up, and because a lot of people build in the waterways, so it's a problem in controlling the issue of flood and disaster. So it's a major problem here. That's one of the things. Um, but we still have bread and butter issues in Liberia that have been unresolved. The exchange rate today, it is astronomical. It is getting to a point where it appears that we don't have control. The Liberian dollars continues to depreciate against the United States dollars. Currently, is around 182 in some places to one Liberian United States dollars. In some places, it is 178. So these are some of the problems. But on the political front, it will interest you to note that the ruling party, the CDC, had a major program today at their party headquarters. It have just ended for the last 30 minutes. About 56 lawmakers, 40 of them are seditious, and the rest are independent candidates. So endorsed the re-election bid of President George Weah. But many Liberians are interpreting it to mean that it's almost like the wife in the house is supporting the father in the same house. So nothing different, nothing really different.
Great.
Well, I think we've
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, okay, go ahead, Moses.
Yeah, so like I was saying, some of the independent representative and some from other parties that endorsed the president today, before today, they were already supporting the president's re-election. The likes of the senator from Bomi County, Edwin Melvin Snow, he was in attendance today.
Oh.
But before today, he has supported President Weah during the special senatorial election in 2020. It will interest you to know that Representative Thomas Falla, who is swapping Monserrato for Lofa County, he wants to unseat. His name is Francis Yumale from Lofa County, Foya District. So Representative Thomas Falla was endorsing President George Weah today. So CDC endorsed CDC. That's how it's being interpreted on this side. But generally, we saw numbers as well. The numbers continue to come from the CDC end. As to whether those numbers are genuine, it is left for us to see it when October comes.
Okay. If I should just give my observation, we've seen this before in past elections. In 2017, we had up to about 19 lawmakers that endorsed Ambassador Joseph Boakai, and people thought it was going to make any big difference. It didn't make any big difference. The voters that went to the poll made a difference. And when it comes to the ruling party getting endorsement, it's very simple. Let me tell you the reason why. The reason why that happened, most of the people that are endorsing, they're already in the government, one. And two, you talk about crowd attending that program. Yes, automatically you have to have crowd. Why? Because most of them are civil servants who work in the offices of most of the people that are endorsing these people. So it's clear. I mean, I've reached a point where in Liberian politics where the numbers actually do not make any difference to me. Simply because those numbers are somehow manufactured. And like I've always said, if I went and took a piece of drum and beat it on Broad Street, you'll see people come out. If I went to West Point that is already populated, people will come out because they want to see. You see it? And so if Ambassador Boakai went somewhere today, he will pull a crowd. And when he leaves, and Mr. Cummings goes right behind him, Mr. Cummings will say pull a crowd. And when he leaves, George will go there, he will say pull a crowd. So it's the same less basic people in Monrovia that are looking for something to look at. So for me, the Monrovia crowd does not make any difference for me. And if it should make difference, then it is those people who are in government who want to hold that position. Now ask yourself why these lawmakers at this time are still supporting President Weah, even though they know that things are hard on them. They know that that's the only way, that's the only job they got. And most of them check their background. They will be going for re-election. And so their hope is on a ruling party, hoping that the ruling party is going to dish out money out there or use its influence over the voters. That's why they do that. But we wait to see. At the end of the day, the results are what we are looking at. Maybe Mark will look at it from different angles from what I'm looking at. But that's just what I think.
Yeah, first I want to start with to make an announcement that actually we're supposed to have Mr. Cummings on the show today, and unfortunately, Mr. Cummings, the election in Liberia is more important, so he had to go to the southeast and to a few counties in the southeast, which is very important. So for that reason, we cannot have Mr. Cummings on the show today. But hopefully, we are looking to have Mr. Cummings somewhere next week. And today we're going to be having Mr. Tukpa on the show, Vah Tukpa. So he is running very fast to come and join us on the show. The time sent to him, he was thinking like 8 o'clock Liberian time, but we start 7 to 8 Liberian time. So that's just the announcement I want to make. And then two, when they come to like what Moses was talking about, the flood situation in Liberia, there are a lot of places in Liberia that have flood issue, right? We're doing a 5 to 6 month raining period. Then you see where the Sony Wen is. The late Samuel Doe, when he came from, there was a country he came from, right? And that whole place where they used to have the old merry-go-round market, and when they built that drainage in that place, and that was the intention of the late president to carry on that project in a lot of areas that suffer from this flood issue, so that the people will not suffer. But anyway, that is that. And I watched a little bit of the CDC program today. Any serious lawmaker who want to work in the interest of the Liberian people, from the crowd that I saw over there, will send you a signal that there is problem. The government self from the people they saw over there compared to the turnout in Grand Bassa County for the CPP, they will know that there is a problem, and and the CPP is their problem, Moses. So, I mean, 40 senators joining the ruling, how they call it, government now, or the party now. I don't think that is something to bother people, because if you look at the crowd out over there today, you will say, well, this thing I think is heading the other way. And then to these guys, they, like what Linford said, maybe they lose cash that they printed to give it to them. And if the next government that take power, there's something can be done about this loose cash that some of these people keep in their houses, 10, $15 million loose cash keep in their houses. There's a way we can have that money to be useless on the market. Yeah, there is a way the new government can have that money to be useless on the market, and they will be forced to divide that money to the Liberian people, be giving it away, because you cannot take it to the bank. You pass a law, for example, that you cannot take $5,000 to the bank. You cannot open a new account to exceed $5,000, and you cannot buy any property exceed $5,000. So all these criminals that get the money, that get the money in their houses, the government official, then they will be forced to divide the money with the people in the community, because you keep that money, you cannot carry nowhere, you cannot buy no property with it. So that's some of the measure the government can pass so that the money be useless in the end. It happened in this country in Burundi. The new current president in Burundi, he passed a law that you cannot open a bank account exceeding $2,500. You cannot buy no property exceeding $5,000. So what these guys are doing in Burundi, all the corrupt government officials and lawmakers, they are dividing the money in Burundi like crazy. I got a few Burundian friends that told me this, and it's happening for real. They divide the money because the money is useless. You can't take it to the bank. You can't buy no property with it. And they gave limited time. In 3 months' time, they are changing. The money is currently changing. So you go to the bank to change your money, and no foreign exchange bureau can even accept that money, and no bank in the country can accept more than $2,500. So that's one of the ways the new government that come in power can make these criminals to bring the money out, and Liberian people enjoy it for a short time, and you introduce new currency on the market.
Great.
Okay. So, like you said, Mark said, our guest will be joining us later on during the course of the program, and that's Mr. Vah Tukpa, a strong supporter of the CPP. He lives in the United States. But we're gonna take a short musical break, and then when we come back, while that music is playing, we can be sharing the live. So we invite you, our friends, who are joining us for the first time. This is the place to be, and also help us to share the show to your various group. We'll be back in just a split second. But first, this very interesting music.
AK on the beat.
Challenge you, Maradio. What's you? Haranjaga, we point. What I read, Broskin, you, Maradio. Hey, man. Challenge Broskin, you, Maradio. What's you?
AK on the beat.
Okay. Sorry, the music was long. I must admit, at least 5 minutes. But I love the music, and I guess a lot of people love it too.
And
So
I'm just rocking in my chair to the
I know.
music.
I thought it was I alone. if you notice, I was hiding behind the camera.
The thing with the person who's how they call it, sang the song, right? He got a beautiful voice and he moved people. All the songs he been making, Sonny guy. Nobody listen to Sonny guy, and you won't. And even you in the chair say you will shake yourself. Then talk about when you get and small little thing your system by your co, forget it. You're then by force.
I didn't hear that name for that word for long. But
Okay.
let's say welcome to all of you again. This is the bottom line. Here we discuss the issue from top to bottom, and we give our opinions. They may not be right, but they are not wrong either. That's just how we feel about it. So stay with us. Like we said, we have a guest coming on tonight, and we expect our guest in any time. But gentlemen, here we are. We in a political season, and we deep in a political season. Okay, we got a little 100 and some more days to go. My arrangement is so bad, I've not been calculating. But we got a little 100 and some more days to go. Okay, for those of you who are very good in arithmetic, today is the 13th of June, and we're talking about October 10th. So let me just take the whole month.
You got roughly, 130 some more days to go.
Okay, so that's like 3 months, 4 months, roughly. So we're going to be knowing who's going to be Liberia's next president after George Manuel Weah. Will George Manuel Weah retain the seat, or are they, or the other parties, are they going to scramble it for him and he'll be left in the court? So this is what we'll be waiting for come October 2023, and we'll know. But like I said, we are deep in a political season, and all of the political parties are making some effect. They are visiting places, or people are joining them, or people are leaving them, and a lot of things will happen before we reach October 10th. Paul, Mike, we all here, and we've been following the political unfoldings in Liberia, so to speak. Today we heard that 12, some among
So,
the senators.
Linfa,
Yeah.
before you go to the government endorsing their own self,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think we should. There's something that happening in Liberia, and it caught my attention.
What is
And
that?
this is what I found it. There is a travel politics are being preached in Liberia, and something that is very detrimental to that country.
Yeah, we
And,
I was coming there, I was
yeah,
driving there.
so
That's
I
the
don't
main
want
point
you
I'm driving
to
at.
waste your time on the ruling establishment going to bear to endorse themselves. I mean,
That's the point I
it
wanted
make
to make. That they are painting a picture that they are joining the ruling establishment when they are already part of it. It's just like Paul, you got your children and your family, and then they say Paul going to play football king. Then you dress your children and all of them dress and kind of be clapping for you. Even if you miss the ball, they clap for you. So what's the big deal? So and then the next thing happening again is this trouble thing that you talk about. And I don't know whether political our democracy is degenerating into something else. Is it the African democracy, or are we practicing the real democracy? And I'm taking it back as well that everybody seems to be making this travel thing an issue. Oh, Linford can speak a drag, so the people will not vote for him. And John Brown can speak this one, or John Brown is not. No, I don't understand. But talk to me. What do you see bad about this travel stuff?
right. Lately, I mean, I follow other platforms, and one of our sister platform, the if you look what happened last night on closing argument, that have something we need to look at. This guy who represented UP on that platform, he said something, and I want to play it just 1 minute for you guys to listen to what he said yesterday, and then we take it from there before our guests come in. So I want you guys to listen.
I've running 10 minutes late. He just texted me.
Okay. So while we just listen to this and then we can get our view because it's something that is worrisome at the moment.
The people in this country is a country of tribal people. We will say it. We will not be afraid.
Yeah, you see
The
another.
same way in America, Chief, the same way in America, you talk about the West Indians. You talk about people come from Texas. You're talking about people, Black Americans. You describe them. This country, we have Gola, we have Loma, we have Kisi, we have Pere, and all of the tribal group. We will talk about it and we'll tell our Liberian people.
But that's the
You
platform
had
you're
two
running on now.
It's part of us. It's part of us.
So that's why you're running on
You
now,
can
right?
tell what you want to tell. Please give me a chance. I'm a part of the guest. You have to give me the benefit of the doubt. You have to give me the benefit of the doubt. We will tell our people.
You got 1 more 30 seconds.
Everything is part of the elections. We will tell our people, you cannot bring two minority grouping, two Congo people to come and take charge of our country. We will tell the Liberian people what their forefathers did to us for 135 years, we will not condone it. That is a message to our people. Georgia is not anybody for us. Georgia is gone. His service says here, he's gone. That's Georgia basically. It's recorded in the history. What we're saying to the Liberian people is that they're going to judge the history. The 133 years that the Cummings, the Bronsky led this country, the 12 years that Boaka and Haley led this country, and the 6 years that Georgia led, the Liberian people are going to judge us on October 10th.
Right. Guys, and to our listening audience, I will say this, and you guys can chime in.
Okay, Paul, you
History
go ahead.
tells us in the first 50 years of the settlers, majority died from what we call malaria. The settlers, there was intermarriage with the indigenous people. They had a lot of children. Today in Liberia, you cannot find, since Doe took over in the 80s, it's been how many years now? If you find those so-called, how call it, the American Liberian that they claim to call Congo, are they still around? Everybody in Liberia today, the Congo tribe now, Congo become a tribe because he said these are strangers that are coming in. Mr. Cummings and Charlene mother is a Bassa. Her mother is a Gola. So Joseph Numa Barker went to CDLA, the elite schools. If that means saying he want to CDLA here Congo, this tribal divide is getting out of hand, and I think Liberia should not condone it because when people to be the country that ruled for 170 years, yes, since those took over up to now, isn't native people been ruling the country? Who are the true Liberians? We get people they call Johnsons, they are Loma, they are bandit. Are they Congo? This when I heard that yesterday, I felt very bad of our country, and I want you guys to chime in. Maybe when Vah Tukpa come here, you have a say.
Yeah, let me just get into a little history here. First of all, if you ask all Liberian across, the globe, okay, or Liberian across whatsoever land, are you proud that Liberia is Africa's oldest republic? They will tell you yes. They are proud to be the oldest country in Africa, regardless of it's like a mother who got many children, but no matter what you do, your older brother will always be your older brother, no matter how successful you are, right? So Liberians are proud to be Africa's oldest republic, right? Now, who was the cause that Liberia became Africa's oldest republic? It's the same people that you refer to as Congo people. You understand? Today, our children born in the West, if you don't start, many of our brothers that from the traditional, from the tribal land or from the, how they call it, native side, today they can't even speak the dialect. Okay? The women can't even speak the dialect. So it's just nonsensical. They fellows sit on our program and start spelling nonsense from his mouth. You understand? Then the next thing is, okay, you listen to him, the Cummings rulership. Are Cummings taking power before in Liberia? Are Bronsky taking power before in Liberia? That's nonsense. You understand? So who should rule the country now? If you listen to the clown, Who? We should put chicken in the presidency? We just got to keep trying until the country gets somewhere. Okay? So that nonsense of the only thing here is, Paul, this tribal something that the how they call it, say, that is taking shape in Liberia politics. It got negative and the positive side. You understand? So, for example, from where these tribes come from, the different counties, right? All have mineral resources. So it's not a bad thing, for example, if they are doing it in a positive side to say, hey, Linford is a parliament from Bon County, and we elected Linford to go to represent, or Linford is from Bomi County, where iron ore, where most of the ore come from, you understand, beside Nima County. So every year, the people that come here to do mining, for example, the ore they extract from Nima, from Bomi County, is in maybe $5 billion. And that $5 billion, instead of the Liberia government, the money going to the central branch, and you understand, and we're not even getting, say, $30 million. So we elected Linford, that Linford will go and advocate on behalf of the county, so that the county will get out of that $5 billion, the county will even get $500 million to build hospitals, schools, and develop the infrastructure. You understand? So on that line, the tribal politics is not bad, but if it's used in a negative way to, segregate people, then that's the danger of it. So, like you say,
Brother Mark, the thing here is, who is Congo today in Liberia? Congo is not a tribe. It's not a tribe.
Congo is not a tribe.
If I'm from Bon County, my name David Smith, I have no American Liberian blood in me. Does that mean David Smith is a Congo? I knew a lot of people that sat in classroom in Tonmaha. You have the Johnson, the Nelson. These are people that spoke traditional language. They're not Congo. But in the old days, people changed their name. You have people calling themselves Davidson, Johnson, Peterson. So if somebody went out there and learned and came back, that means they're not true, because the history tell in the first 50 years they settled up, they were wiped out. Even history also tell us they settled up, even went to other neighboring countries like Sierra Leone, like Ghana, like Nigeria, to recruit people. So all of these things, I just putting this into perspective that we don't have no tribe called Congo. So
yeah, brother Paul, let's go into the same thing where you just said that. You look at the whole current government now. It's 99.9% indigenous Liberian. And what is the country?
From 1981, the
country is into mess, you understand? Now, let me give you an example. You know what the Ivorian did? The Ivorian, what they did? They said Alassane Ouattara was not an Ivorian, right? But during Houphouet time, he served as prime minister. But if you see the work that Alassane have done in the past 14 years, because he's going in his third term, I think he's in the middle of his third term. If you see the work he has done in Ivory Coast, just go on YouTube and you see Ivory Coast of present. You understand? Now the same Ivorian that are protesting, he from, how do you call it, Burkina Faso, he from Burkina Faso. Now they are even contemplating that he should continue the Paul Kagame, because his vision, it benefit the whole entire nation. He ain't leaving no region behind. And you understand? That's what happened in Ivory Coast. If you look at Liberia, for example, look, Mr. Cummings, from his childhood, he been in Liberia. Where else does Mr. Cummings know? You understand? Where is he pledging his loyalty? So, but that one thing a great man said, he said, when fools got nothing to counteract you, you understand? Then what they put out, they put all nonsense, and they will get their follow-up to buy that nonsense. So that is what happening in Liberia now, because they got nothing to counter Mr. Cummings. They got nothing to counter the CPP agenda, because the CPP agenda is great and it's going to benefit the Liberian people. So the only thing you're going to hear now, you're going to hear part of nonsense coming from there, and other people are going to buy into that nonsense. Don't be surprised. You know, I just want to say this, you understand? The human being brain, right, is a great man that said it. I can't remember their names because there are a lot. He said the human being brain is not only a vessel to receive, and you understand, but the brain also is a wisdom and an inspiration that human beings need to use in making judgment. So some people, their brain, are just vessel to receive, but they got nothing else to put outside their brain. So they just receive anything that anybody said. So that's the kind of society we got.
Well, I don't know if I should chip in here. let me first of all describe the fellow who was making that statement as misinformed. Number one. Number two, a pitiful failure. Number three, a hopeless man who does not have hope, and so he will. It's like if you cut the chicken hair, it will just fight to death. You can see the frustration in the face of the young guy that we were trying to help people out. Look, listen, I here. My name is Linford Goer. Linford is English name, meaning man from the learning tree fall. That's the meaning of my name. Okay, English name, pure English name. One. If you count the number of Linford in the world, there are not more than 5. I know only 2, 3. Me, my son, and Linford Christie in the UK. I've been making research. Now, Goer. Goer is a Geo name. Goer is a Bassa name, both for men.
Yeah.
Goer is a Kra name.
Yeah.
Goer is a Vah name for woman. A woman called Goer. I met this girl in Habel when we were leaving Habel during the water, and she was a woman. I said, "Well, I have my father name." She said, "But that woman name." I said, "No, that man name." So I come from Bon County. I got 2 grandparents who are Bassa. I got 1 grandparent who is Pele. I got 1 who is Mano from Nima County. So who is more Liberian than me? Now, I was raised as a Merton, the late Jake Samuel Merton, who was former Internal Affairs Minister, but they used to call it the Department of or Secretary of Interior. My uncle worked with that man. So the man adopted 3 of us from my family. So I was a Linford Merton. This is how I went to Colonel Academy. Okay, now I lived in Corwell. If I had not decided to take my parents' name, I would have been a Merton now. So people will call me Congo man. So you see this
Exactly.
this thing about Congo people. If you look at that fellow who was talking, if you ask him for a name, you will have one English name. He's not Yapaulo Koli. He got some English name. So how do we get those names? And Mr. Cummings always says, you do not choose where to be born, which town, or which tribe, which religion, all these kind of things. So when people make issue of this, for me, there are people who have no hope, because I will look at the substance of the issues, not who. If you say somebody is Congo, Joseph Numa Boaka, people are saying that he's a Sierra Leonean. So why would you say that? Yeah? Because you got Numa in Sierra Leone, you got Boaka in Sierra Leone. So we could say that he's also a Sierra Leonean. In fact, there are pictures of buildings that he owns in Sierra Leone. So you want to bring a Sierra Leonean to be a president of our country. So if we start to play this game, I think we'll just be hurting each other more, and it doesn't help. But again, the fellow looks frustrated, number 1. Number 2, he does not have anything to contribute. And he is saying that he wants to go tell his people, his people, how many tribes does he speak in Liberia, and how many tribes does he belong to? Maybe he's a Kissy man or Loma man. The way I heard his intonation, he sounds like somebody from Lofa County. So he cannot go to Bon County or to Nima County and convince anybody. The Nima County people got people too. So you see, where will the travel team carry us? And the last thing I want to say about this travel team, Liberians are very hard to learn. We are very hard to learn. He put us in the classroom, we will teach us for years before we even learn to say ABC. But again, when we finish learning that ABC, after several years, the next 1 minute, we'll forget it. What am I saying? We fought war in Liberia that almost degenerated into a tribal war. Where certain tribes, for some simple mistake, they were being hunted. For some simple mistake, our war almost turned to a tribal war. You had the Klan, the Kyo, the Mano, the Majingos involved. And then it did not end there. Other tribes were also connected. So when will we learn then we sit there and say, oh, we got to go after the warlords, people who fought the war. You want to go after warlords, and then you digging out the same thing that brought the war, tribal things. So I don't know. Our people, Liberia has a big problem. The problem we have in Liberia is not only political, it's also mental. A lot of people are deranged. You see them walking in clean clothes, but they are totally deranged.
Sorry to interrupt you. Paul, have you sent Ava the link? He's trying. I sent him a link too. Okay.
Yeah, so when I hear people talking about this travel thing, it makes me feel bad because we forget so fast. Almost, as people estimate, almost 250,000 of our citizens died simply because of travel stuff. When somebody says, oh, the men are Maningo men, the men are Kram men, the men are Kyo men, the men are Mano men, the men are that kind of person. Yeah? But we can still come back today and say, travel thing is important. We got to be travel people. We got to be this and that. Now the question is, if I'm a parent and I go to Grand Cru County where I don't know anybody, what influence would I have on the people in town and do not vote for the person you want? They will not, because if first thing they want to hear somebody like they're talking. So if I go to Bon
you gotta bring our guest in his.
The guest is already getting to open his camera.
Okay.
So if I go to Bonkande and speak Pele to my people, or since I come from the Kogoya Belt and speak Basa to my people and speak Mano to my people, they will listen to me. But you come from Lofa Kande, you come to my people and be talking, they will ask you, what are you doing here? Who brought you here? So this travel thing, it also got limitation. So you don't think because you some travel man, you just go anywhere and all the whole group of people follow you. Nonsense. That can happen. So the fella, I think the fella, like I said, he looks hopeless. He feel that he cannot fight anymore. No more punches. It's like you put two boxers in the ring and one man is being bloody, nose bloody, and he get there now wobbling. So you gotta let him wobble. So let the fellow wobble. He will wobble, and at a certain point you get tired and you will get settled down for it. Mostly, I don't know whether his colleague is from Bonkante or from Lofa, but he knows what I'm talking about. That if you just take a crewmate, put him somewhere in the middle of Bonkante, if he's talking, about those people that say, "But where Papa now?"
Yeah, gentlemen, let's welcome our guest now.
Yeah, but hold on. So, this travel thing, I think it has no place in our society. It has caused a number of our citizens to lose their lives, and nobody should be promoting it. Okay, Mr. Vah Tukpa, are you hearing us?
Tukpa. Before people start being on travel with me, Tukpa.
Tukpa. You see, now because I'm from Bonkande, we got Tukpa in Bonkande, so I always call. In fact, but
Bonkande too.
Napelani. Nima Kande, that Manoni. Okay, and then here in Basel, you got a Basel man who is Tukpa right here. You see, in fact, let me just tell you this one today. I was on Vah because my grandfather was called Well Vah. So the Vah, I just took the Vah. I was on Vah before that. I was on Melton, and now I'm a Goa. So you see, yeah. So you see, so when I hear people talking about this travel thing, for me, I just laugh because I can speak 4 like tribes and speak a little bit of Vah because I live in the Vah people. House for long. So this thing doesn't work. Yeah.
My man, you're a Bar Congo man. You speak 4? Damn.
Yeah. I'm a Melton on top of it. When you're talking about our neighbors, talking about Samuel George and Corey, those groups, right. Those are our neighbors before. But Mr. Tukpa, let us say welcome. This is the bottom line. You've been here before. It's not strange. So we say welcome to you. And thanks to Mike for making the negotiation. So we want to welcome you and join the conversation. We have a lot of things to discuss, but we just brought in this travel thing that people have been pushing. I don't know whether you want to travel people too, or how do you feel about this travel thing?
Those divisive travelers, they got nothing to do. They got nothing to say about that ticket. They got nothing negative to say about Mr. Cummings. They started off with a gay thing. It hasn't worked. Now they're trying to bring extra division. And the sad part about it, even some of the people who talking about it, they never experienced whatever that they're talking about. They can't even explain what is Congo to you. So what handed down burden, psychological, emotional, are they carrying? Yeah, we know for a fact what happened in our history. We know how people were treated. Even my mom is half Congo. Her stepmom and her uncle's wife, they didn't treat her right. You know, I mean, they did some evil things to those people, right? But do you carry that burden generation to generation after what has happened? After the brutal coup d'etat where they killed, put 13 people on the pool and killed many others that were not accounted for. Then we had the civil war. Should we not be focused on reconciliation? Or even if there was a war economic crimes code, try to get those who violated the law before for whatever reason? They're carrying this extra burden and trying to create division because you have no vision for the country. You have no plan for the country. You can't tell us, what your achievement have been, and you bring tribalism into the discussion. It's wrong.
Wow.
Okay.
It is wrong, and it is absolutely wrong. Welcome. I say it's good to have you back on the bottom line. The last time you were here, it was firing, and I see you kind of relaxed. It's good to be back here. And you're right. If the other opponent have no vision, they tend to the trouble thing. So being that I'm called the Lord Cholope, maybe I'm not a Congo man, so you never know.
You're
And being in the
you're a British
UK
man.
and being and not by the king.
But let me share something with you. I did a survey back in, I think, 2021. Diverse people. And asked them, what is Congo to you? For most people, it was more a lifestyle. All of them were lifestyle. Either you living in a fence or you too particular, you like things a certain way,
You educated.
or you educated and driving car. So the definition of Congo has changed. So most of the people in government today, most of the so-called indigenous people, they are the new Congo. And we can't deny that. So are they saying they should not have any opportunity to lead our country? That's wrong.
And to add on that, once you don't have the accent of an ethnic group, then you are Congo. Once that accent lost from you, you speak English and no crown in it, or your tongue don't sound a pele, or you don't sound a basso, or you don't have that high voice, the crew, then you become a Congo person.
Right.
And what precedent are they setting? Because here we live in the diaspora. You got almost 1 million people from Liberia living in America alone. Then all scattered around, you can take us for 2 million Liberians that are scattered. And we are born in children. So if these children go to Liberia, they're not speaking anything. Why do you call them?
Congo.
But after your child stay here and get a master degree and say, oh yeah, going back home to help my people, you're Congo man, what are you doing?
You know what really fascinating about the whole thing? Leave from here now, go to Liberia. You have people following you because they want petty cash. But when it comes to sadness, oh my man, you're not part of the place, you knew, you stranger, go back. And this is thing that been going on for months. They will tell you, but you even know Liberian politics.
And this is the question I'm asking. What precedent are they setting for their children that are in school now? So the children that should just stay in Liberia, they should not travel?
So if the opportunity is given to you, then you got to stay back, don't travel.
Yeah, just stay there.
Brother Paul, I went somewhere the other day before Brother Isaac come in. We missed out on a great opportunity to set the country on the right path. And that was the 12 years. After the 14 years of civil war, the interim government came, but the 12 years, that was the opportunity that we missed to set the country on a new foundation, on a new principle, on a new ideology, on a new philosophical, perspective. We missed out on the 12 year. It's not just something small. The 12 year has cost us a lot. And that is what these people, they stay cajoling our people to be like this. It should be a continuation. That's why they are fighting men like Cummings who said, no, things have to change. And like my people as they talk about how they call it, the war crime, this whole TRC something they set up the way it was set up, for me, were very nonsensical that people were not going to prison, let her palaver. What are you talking about? You gotta kill all the Prince Johnson who kill people, innocent people on the bourgeois island to take their wives and things, mulatto woman. I know that why he own a voodoo was killing innocent people, then he cancel rather then he can't tell us, say, oh yeah, let's have palaver or something. We're butt naked then kill innocent people then they talk about palaver or something. What nonsense TRC was that? Even if they would have rented a ship, I don't know you have watched Stallone Escape. They could have talked to the international community or get some ocean to put some of the men in the middle of the ocean where they didn't know where they are people. You just helicopter, just carry food to them. That would have scared people today.
Okay, I think we've said a lot of nonsense. Mr. Tukpa wants to come in.
No, I was just saying I didn't agree with everything he said, but you know, you got to have some deterrent. You got to set some standard. We have not done that yet. So,
yeah, that okay. Now, so our main topic here tonight is the paradigm shift, the shift in momentum in recent time, where the CPP or the ANC or Mr. Cummings, they were supposed to be the underdog. That according to our people, that every opinion pool, they are way up there. They got 450,000 votes somewhere in the fort that is untouched. They can only unleash those people and then they come out to vote. And you know, then recently they went somewhere where they went to get their vice standard bearer and he will get bundle all the people in that country and can during the election day, he losing the, you know, like how our country police will go fetch the wood, they bring the whole bundle and knock it and they call it and then scatter. Then they say, "Oh, go vote." And in recent time, since the selection of Councillor Charlie Bronski, we've seen that these people who have been posting of normal have become more jittery. If you go on Facebook, they are there throwing hints, talking all kinds of things, playing the trouble card and all these things. So it seems as though, for me, that's my opinion, because on the show, that's what we do. We give our opinions. It may not be right, they're not wrong either. I would believe that there is something that have changed. So, gentlemen, do you see anything that have changed in recent time? Okay, I'll give the opportunity to our guest to come because he's the guest. Probably you look at things differently from us. Have you seen anything that have changed in recent time, Mr. Tukpa?
yeah, the decisions that were made. You look at two decisions for vice standard bearer. One decision picked someone aligned with a sanctioned, alleged war criminal, violent, brutal war criminal, Prince Johnson. That's who Jeremiah Kuhn was aligned with. And Joseph Burger decided to dance with the devil, according to what they say were his own words. I like to use people's own words. I don't like to use my word. Okay? And he decided to pick Jeremiah Kuhn. On the flip side, Mr. Cummings was very intentional in his search. And I don't know if Unity Party thought they were competing with us because they heard of interest in Kuhn. They ran and took him off the market because they saw the Nima vote. They didn't see the other baggage that were on his back, all the way behind him. Mr. Cummings was deliberate. Mr. Cummings reached out to different people, you know, and they didn't want to take that challenge. They didn't want to take that risk. But unknown to everybody, there's a brilliant or smart and intelligent or politically astute young lady called Councillor Charlene Bromsky. Her selection was doubted by some, and while some were afraid of the label, Congo TK, and all that kind of stuff, was a bold move. And that move, it shows you how two decisions can shift things, right? One decision set the United Party back. They got to be backpedaling and trying to explain their decision. The other decision has like national affirmation. And you know our country is predominantly young people. Young people are in my inbox even before Charlene was appointed, they were texting me and saying, "You can put Charlene Guru, blah, blah, blah." Eventually, Charlene was nominated. So Charlene brings a great compliment to, you know, Mr. Cummings. Personality, the, you know no stain in terms of corruption, all that kind of stuff. She has a legal background. She has the ability, trust me when I say it, to absorb significant amount of material, synthesize it, and be able to regurgitate it in her own way, in a very explicit and coherent manner. A lot of people cannot do that. I send stuff to people who will tell, oh, I went inside the document. Well, I sent her all the policy stuff, and she was able to absorb that stuff and be able to articulate Mr. Cummings' message. I hate to say he was articulating it himself. That's an asset that most people, don't have. Those kind of skills are rare. So I must compliment Charlene, and she has really stepped up to the public glare. Yeah, you can say, oh, Gina, that her first time running, right? But she was around somebody who ran for president, 2 times? Okay? And association breeds assimilation. So there's certain qualities from, Councilor Charles Bromsky that has rubbed off on her. She is smart. She is very dexterous on her feet in terms of responding to questions. When people try to nail her or corner her, she has the ability to rationally navigate out of those kind of, constraints with regards to questioning. So you can feel the surge, you can feel the momentum, you can feel the energy, okay? And she's able to independent. You know how some people, you got a friend or you got a partner, or you got somebody you scared for them to go somewhere by themselves before they embarrass you? That's Charlene Bromsky. Mr. Cummings can delegate, Charlene Bromsky to go into any environment, and she is able to handle herself. So that's a big plus, and that shows the shift in paradigm, the shift in momentum, and the fact that Mr. Cummings has tapped into something that the extended benefits were not recognized initially. But now with the youth, with the women, her ability to just meet market women, dance with them, engage them, talk to them, ask them the pertinent questions that reflect that she cares for them. She wants to understand what's going on with the situation. That stuff is hard to come by. And Mr. Cummings, they have battled it. They have something great going on.
Yeah, Paul, Mike, what do you see that have changed?
For me, this is it, right? Like what Mr. Tukpa just said. This lady, first of Mr. Cummings is somebody who sit in the boardroom, right? And if I think few people here have been privileged to maybe have sat in a boardroom before, and you hear opinion coming from different side, views coming from different side. And the chairman of the board later on, before making decision, he listened to everybody. Then he look at the majority view and look at the how they call it, a minority view, and before he makes his decision. And Mr. Cummings, I think, made a brilliant decision after talking with few people around him. And then 2, this lady, Charlene, she's a law professor, okay? She's a law professor. And who gave birth to law is philosophy. So this woman can represent Mr. Cummings anywhere. This woman has the language to her advantage. She teaches law that deal with philosophy. That's the fundamental of law. Any law student you ask, they will tell you that they deal with philosophical issue. They ask you questions as to why this can happen, and how it can happen. So she can represent Mr. Cummings anywhere. She can talk, communicate with it. You can see how she fire up, right? And then 2, Mr. Cummings is a builder. Look from where he got the ANC from. First year participating election, second year, he's the darling of the country now. He's the most talked about person. It tells you that this man is a builder. You understand? Nothing he put his hand in won't work. Okay? So Mr. Cummings is a builder. Liberian people should be convinced. Look, this man, he came where? I think he came 4th place during the going election, or some people can say 5th place, right? But from 5th place now, he's almost the front runner. Okay? That tells you that this man has something that he can transform this country within the next 3-4 years. The country is like a car where the tire, everything finished. The how they call it, engine, everything is finished. The seats in the car is finished. And Mr. Cummings going to put the tire under the car to get it up. Then before you start working on the body, that's how Liberia looks.
Right. Linfo, you muted. You are muted.
Yeah, sorry. I'm saying quickly we got to run into it because we got 30 more. In fact, less than 30 more minutes to be on the radio in Liberia. By the way, we are on the radio, Mr. Tukpa, so just so you know.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
And shout out to all the people in Liberia.
Oh, good.
I know you're tired suffering, but y'all got to make that decision come October 10th to relieve you for us to have the country moving in a positive direction. So
yeah, your truck cannot feed you. Your truck cannot put money in your pocket. It's your leader that can put money in your pocket. So, Paul, we're talking about the paradigm shift. We're talking about this opinion shifting since Councillor Charlie Bronskin came into the picture. But then the question is, Councillor Charlie Bronskin comes from one country. So let me play my own travel card now. She comes from Grand Paso. But Mr. Cummings went to the southeast. Mr. Cummings, according to the travel list, he can't speak Grebo. Nobody's supposed to know him. He ain't got no base. But when he hit Plebo, I saw a crowd that I didn't believe under that ring. And now this is another picture from Riwachi County. And these are people who have not seen Mr. Cummings before. According to his detractors, he didn't get base. Nobody knows him. Yeah? He can't speak nothing. But he went to Riwachi. I don't know what they're speaking Riwachi though. So, but you see the number of people that turned out. I mean, we're not talking about Cleveland or Maryland because that's a few days back. But just yesterday, he was in Riwachi. See this kind of crowd. So what does that tell us? Do people still not know who Mr. Cummings is?
Linfo, before I get to Mr. Cummings, let me go back to Councillor Charlene Bronskin. Your first time seeing her, you like her. You just fall in love with her. That's one thing that she carried, likability. That's how powerful this lady have brought good to Mr. Cummings TK. Sedition and other political or party members will call say, because of you, I will vote for you. That's tell you that something she brought to help Mr. Cummings, yeah? And you know, Mr. Cummings, he's this cool gentleman. But Charlene, she have that passion. She talk in Liberia, they call it the political language. She's what? Straight talker. She tell you the way it is and break it down for you to understand. Now, I want to go back to what you just said about his visit to the southeast. Mr. Cummings' grandmother, a raw Grebo woman, no Congo business in her. So, and these people been playing the travel thing that, oh, the Southeastern don't have number. But something people fail to realize, the Grebo tribe is the third largest tribe in Liberia.
Yes.
If they decide to support their son, mark this today. The Basso tribe is the second largest tribe where Charlene come from. If we play the travel thing, mark my word, this is what they brought to the table. And you take, I just want to give you that J. So yes, that's people, the group of people decided they would support their son. And that's why you saw the 10. This is small. It happened in Claratown, months back. People say, oh, it was fake. But you see it for reality now. So I just leave it with you.
Okay, before I go to Mr. Tukpa, let me go to Mike. Mike, wait, hold on. Let me push you to the wall. You come from the southeast.
That's how they call it, say, that junk is there, how they call it, say, censor the day where the Pele people stay here, the dominant tribe in Liberia. I want to see a new censor.
My man, we are still the dominant, and we play
they will take every Liberian, every tribe. You find out the Pele people no longer the dominant tribe in our country.
Okay, but let me ask you now. You from the southeast. Let me push you to the wall. Yeah, the southeast. How you do your travel thing? You like your own people? Like for instance, if say you come from Grand Gita, if you go to Grand Gita, you think they will accept you? They can accept you. I mean, their own people.
Yes, they will accept you. No matter. I mean, the case, your accomplishment number one is something that they will always feel proud of. They will boast about their song coming. You saw the dance they put up for Mr. Cummings. That's how they will perform for you. I'm sorry, nowadays they're not killing, animals, the law in the country, you understand? Or else the best hunter in Maryland, like the one in River G, they got the elephant hunters, right? They will go and kill a fresh, deer, and you understand? Or I'm forgetting some other animal name, and they will bring it for Mr. Cummings, and they will take out the how they call it, the heart and the best part of that animal and give it to Mr. Cummings. That's the soup Mr. Cummings will drink, and they will have a play for him whole night because of what he had accomplished. They're not going to look at him and say, oh, because he can't speak the dialect. So they're going to have somebody that will translate him for him, and he will understand, and the people will understand what Mr. Cummings is saying. That's how the people from the Southeast, they are proud of their children when their children succeed. They don't look at, even if you come from Maryland, say you go to Sano, or you go to River G, or you go to Grand G there, once you are one of them from the Southeast, they will always cherish you. They will play when you come there. You are an accomplishment. You are access to them. They don't look at the tribal aspect, say, oh yeah, you come from Grand G there, they got how they call it, 4 or 5 different crowns, right? But they don't look at you, say, oh yeah, you're from the other side, you're from that other side. No, you are an accomplishment. You are access for that county, for the tribal people. That's how the people from the Southeast, they behave.
Mr. Tukpa, now, we're walking along the Atlantic Ocean. Mr. Cummings was in Grand Cru. Now, he might go to River Cess and then hitting Grand Basel. And you from River Cess. I've been to River Cess once, and it's a beautiful place. And the River Cess people, they are Basel people, and we get the Grand Basel people also. So how do you people look at your own? Or how do you, because we talk about the challenge part of Mr. Cummings' part. We talk about the challenge part. Do you people accept your own people and say, well, especially in the wake of this travel thing, if people want to start a travel thing, that this is our own, we'll go for her?
And they say town trap, not for ride alone. So let go set the trap. For me, I don't like to deal with the whole travel thing, right? Because if you look at Mr. Cummings, when he came in, yeah, you can consider him a stranger. It was the first time running. But if you look across the counties, he beat people like Prince Johnson and even Councillor Bromsky in some counties. Right? That is 5th place position. He was third in a lot of counties. And people need to go to the data if they want to know the specifics. So he has a broad-based appeal. Yes. For somebody to satisfy themselves and say, oh, yeah, that man is a stranger, we know him, yeah. But who can tell me they don't sit down and break bread? How many people can tell me they don't break bread with Joseph Boyka? What is the definition of no? When you know somebody, where you not hear the name, that no?
No.
I can bet across the country the people have heard Mr. Cummings' name. And he is actually shaking more hands, hugging more old man and kissing some babies there that former VP Boyka would not do. Even right now, I believe John Manuel is too complacent and too lazy to even go really to those places. You're already scared before to get out of the car and go engage some people there. It probably will get worse now. Because you think people are after him. No, seriously, I'm just serious.
Yeah.
So the opportunity for Mr. Cummings is huge. He has the energy, he has the commitment. I must say now, look, Mr. Cummings, why are you doing this? Because he has no need to do it. He could be on at a 5-star hotel, going from place to place, chilling here and what. But he just feels he has a commitment to make a difference. There's an opportunity there to move his country forward, to change a rotting system. I was just talking to somebody today. Our mineral sector, if we really examine that sector, additional $400-500 million can be added to the budget over a year's time. Because that sector is not regulated. That sector is, our minerals are just going. And people are mining things that not on the concession contract. Because you know, minerals not just separate. You look at iron ore, you look at stuff like bauxite, and you look at some other stuff, all in that same ground together.
Yep.
And when people mining those things, they're only reporting iron ore to,
Yep. And Paul and Linford, please, brother. You know, can I just come in when he come back?
Yeah,
Okay, go ahead, brother Isaac.
Yeah. So the potential is huge. When Mr. Cummings talk about $1 billion, budget, in my estimation, in a year and a half to two, we can get to $1 billion. By 4 years into his stuff, we can get to $2 billion. Because the opportunity is there for us to expand our economy, and especially if we create more jobs and make some portions of the informal economy formalize, where they will have to buy their licenses and do their business and everything like that. Our economy can blow up very easily, very quickly, because we have the potential. We got the natural resources. It's about how we leverage them, how we make our concession deals, how we monitor and evaluate the concessions we sign with people to make sure that we get the maximum from it. And then we bring Liberianization into the process, and Liberians can own those sectors that we talk about. The 17 were reduced from 27 to 17. But let us own those 17. The value chain of importation all the way to retail cannot be controlled by Lebanese and Indians or non-Chinese. We have to look out for our own people and give them the opportunity. Who's the best market woman? How can she become, a wholesaler? How can she become, an importer? What areas can we specify and teach our people up for them to take care of their own future? How can we provide funding for them to empower them? That $20 million, economic empowerment fund that Mr. Cummings talks about. How can we make sure that it's not like what happening under Ellen Salif and what happening under this administration, where they leave money, they say they want to empower businesses, giving it to their girlfriend, they're costing their this, and it's not filtering into the economy. No, that's not what Mr. Cummings is about. He's very clear on the not allowing nepotism and cronyism to affect, what's happening in his government. So there's a huge opportunity. This election on Liberians. It's Liberians to decide which way they want to go. There's no if and about it. And like we said earlier, the momentum has shifted. The surge is there. People are energized with the tickets. So many people who say, "Oh, I even want to vote," are now committing to the ticket because of the presence of Charlene Bromsky. So, in my mind, in the survey that I have seen, generally, you cannot find anybody who can say anybody else can better move our country forward than Mr. Cummings among those that are running right now. I think that's an agreed statement. But when you ask them, that they're the puppet time. They got time in election when you want your country is in desperation. No time they stay inside. You
that football game.
That
football game, your substitute the puppet. Like puppet can't play too. Even football games, you can't put somebody there because they're on the team.
No way. You just take the man who been watching Jersey for a long time. When you see your game and can put in the game, I beg you. Clubs of what we used to do back in the day, we lay it down on the ground. If you feel that you can play that game, go tell Jesse. Because we probably got Ezekiel Doe coming. We probably got Josiah Dimle coming. We already got there. Maybe with Boris Tim, Yanti Brother Thomas, Yanti that they can't play. You know yourself, you go pick Jesse. No. So that is what we should apply to government. We can't just be appointing incompetent people in government who don't understand. They will not even read the mandate of the ministry or agency that they're responsible for to understand all the things they can do.
Okay, we got like 14 minutes more to go on the radio, and after the radio, of course, we'll continue. But let's see if we can take a couple of calls from Liberia. If you're in Liberia and you have WhatsApp, you can call this number on your screen. It's a WhatsApp number. That's +4799450882. But I guess Moses have a number in the studio that you can also call, which is a local number. Moses, do you have any number that you want the people to call on?
Yes, we have local numbers here, 2 numbers.
Okay.
0886, I beg your pardon, 0555 514885. That's the Lone Star number, and then the orange number is 0776 82 4003. So those are the 2 numbers we have here. So okay, maybe you announce your WhatsApp number.
If you repeat it again, just repeat your number because ours will get on the screen. But you repeat your numbers, your 2 numbers again, slowly, so that the people will be able to copy it.
Okay, to read the numbers again, 077.
Uh, that's a country we're talking about, Liberia, where you'll be in the middle of something and all of a sudden you go in the darkness, your internet will fail. If the doctor was operating on you and they needed internet to do something, it will go out and then you will be at the mercy of God. But
And that's
No, but
and
people have
and,
that.
that is why it is high on Mr. Cummings. Infrastructure development is one of the priority of Mr. Cummings
yeah,
to
because
make
the
sure that
entire
we
world
have
right now
internet connect.
operates. I mean, on the technology, everything in the world right now. We used
Yeah,
to go to the
Mr.
hospital,
Cummings.
they cut you. This time they're not
And
cutting you. They just open that small hole and put a robot inside the robot, do the operation, clean up, and they put everything outside. They're not cutting nobody in your hospital anymore. But like they'll gas you. They put some like big bandage on you. You can't walk for complete 2 months. But Mr. Tukpa, I don't know whether Paul has any question or Mike has any question to ask. But I just wanted you to tell us if there was something right now that you think Mr. Cummings could add to what's going on to even increase the momentum. What would that be that recommendation?
Well, from all indications, I think the door-to-door activity, right? Increase that. Let's clearly partition the country into blocks, and most of that stuff is done already. But now start the movement. We got enough information to translate common vision with the people. Before Mr. Common go with that prep team, that already resident, that the people know, that people can relate to. Those are the kind of people we need in each of the different communities, that they are getting the people ready, if Mr. Cummings will appear. All right, that's one. So, door to door, community to community, district to district, county to county, the real change movement should be driving. Then the other thing is the messaging. The people who come on radio, the people who come on, television in Liberia, the people who come on platforms like yours, to be well versed in the message. That even if somebody close eye and listening to them, they'll say, "Oh, that content, yeah, that Mr. Cummings talking," where the message is coming. Mr. Cummings say for education, or focus on training our teachers because the quality of what the kids learn is extremely important. We strategically rehabilitate some schools, okay, and we empower those government schools to get to the level of other schools that our young people can be competent. We focus on technical and vocational education, and there will be opportunities for those people to work because that's one of the key things starting to drive business in the counties, be able to create opportunities. Look, nearly every county has some kind of comparative advantage in some kind of product or in some kind of potential service. And we have to tap into those. We can let our coconut. Right now, coconut is a major thing around the world. We got coconut all over the coast. We have not been able to harness that. Maybe some businesses need support. Okay? We got cassava. Cassava have multiple. We have not been able to build a consistent market outside Liberia. So one of the things Mr. Cummings talked about, our ambassadors should be business developers for the country. They should be able to articulate the strengths, the economic strength, the economic potential in Liberia for businesses in the areas that they are responsible for. Not just sit there to just do visa. It goes beyond that. So once we can get our people to operating at that level of efficiency, at that level of national consciousness of what our needs are, how to convey those needs to people, how to convey to people how they can benefit from what's in Liberia, we got a much better country. Now, then we talk about ecotourism. We don't have to build much infrastructure if we focus on tourism. Okay? Look, in the Gambia, I heard the people made the bumpy road an experience for people who've been driving on paved road their whole life. Go and experience what it is, to drive on bumpy road, get stuck in the mud, you help push the car. That's an experience you can create because I want part of easy thing in Liberia. But Mr. Cummings' commitment is to make sure that those bad portions of the road are maintained such that you're not necessarily traveling on paved road all over the country, but you have access to every part of the country. You're not taking 4 or 5 hours on the road. Because those same spots, basically, every year, those same spots are the one where the road will cut and people. So, those are the kind of things that we're talking about in terms of moving our country forward.
I'll say, I want you to talk about Mr. Cummings' plan. And he talked about the 5 pillars.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that most people in Liberia, they don't listen to what the message he's selling, how it will benefit. He also talked about he won't take salary. Can you just give us summary of the 5 pillars and make emphasis on the salary bit, that he's not willing to take salary because he just won't drive this country into another level, put it into another gear. Talk to us.
I think he got a call.
Yeah, he's gonna come back. It's
Yeah.
always happening. People interrupt.
But okay, yeah, he's
He's
back.
back.
Yeah, people calling.
Because we've got about 7 more minutes on radio, so talk to us.
Right. So at a high level, Mr. Cummings talk about building a 21st century Liberia. That's his vision. That's how he sees where the country should go, because we are way behind time. And in order to do that, we have to invest in, like you said earlier, the critical infrastructure that will allow us to create jobs and to revitalize economic growth. We don't have to do everything at the same time, but strategically utilize whatever resources we have into areas where we can create jobs. Okay, we don't have to build every paved road, but we have to build the roads that will constitute the identified economic corridors. And once we can do that, then the agriculture sector is just ripe for us. We have the ability to feed ourselves in 3 years, 4 years. But in the first year, we look at 30,000 hectares in plain rice. We can get 150,000 tons of rice from there. And we can create nearly 54,000 jobs, because the ratio is 1.8 job to a hectare of land.
Oh.
People blew up my phone. I'm sorry, my people.
Yeah, we understand.
Yeah. So, if we can just start our first phase with agriculture, we now get half of the nearly 100,000 jobs that can be created in the first year. Then, Mr. Cummings, look at his pillar, right? The first one is jobs. So we got to create jobs, and we got to start with something they call shovel-ready jobs. Construction jobs that people can get used. They don't have to have any extra skills for. We got clinics, we got schools all over the country that are just so derelict, so dilapidated, that we need immediate reconstruction to help the children. People in school, they ring, beating there and all. We got to change that. So those shovel-ready jobs are there. Plus, before we had industries in Liberia, we had light manufacturing opportunities in Liberia, and we got people we can attract. Right now, they got something called a continental free trade, the African continental free trade, that allows us across the continental trade. So if we can just find what other people in other countries want, that we are able to produce, tomatoes in Nigeria and Ghana, we can say, look, we will do all the tomatoes you want. We provide tomatoes for you. Okay? In other areas, like in those kind of half-starvation areas, Ethiopia, Kenya, and other things, we can provide food for them. We're able to go and find them. So where you can eat ugali, okay, we make the core ingredients for ugali in Liberia and ship it here. So the opportunities are huge for us to impact Africa, because the African Development Bank today, they say they want to be the breadbasket for the world, not just Africa, the world. That's their goal. So agriculture is a high priority. Why we have not seen movement in our agriculture sector, I don't understand. So when you look at the job creation, you look at agriculture, there are 2 areas where we can start off and start kicking the economy in gear, right? Then we look at and with the whole infrastructure thing, electricity is key. Right now we have a limitation with our hydro and the combination of the CILSG, Cote d'Ivoire, Sierra Leone, Liberia, Guinea. Guinea has significant energy output. We can build our stuff from Guinea, Guinea people in Ivory Coast now. But the potential to get adequate electricity is of a strategy as well. It's about the quality of materials we import, the transformer that can get blow up. It's about ensuring no power theft, and through those simple means. And right now, I believe they're starting to do some of those things. It's just that they have started so late. Then we go to healthcare and education, the last two, right? Healthcare is about our nurses and doctors. Let me just come and say there are 5 or 6 diseases that consistently kill our people free of charge. We can put preventive measures in. If we can provide healthcare for the most vulnerable of our population, those young babies from like 0 to 5, 0 to 6, plus the older people, that they can have some kind of adult affordable or free care that can be worked out. Because significant external investment goes into our healthcare sector. We are just not seeing the results because the people are corrupt. From the minister down, they got their own individual facilities that they direct resources to. How can you do that? You deprive people to make money. You know how many people die because of that loss of healthcare and medical care? It can be quantified. But they want to direct everything to their own clinics, their own healthcare facilities. It's totally wrong. Education. We see what's happening with our young people. We see I can be trying to correct English on Facebook.
Ava, one sec. We got about a minute for the guys in studio to leave us in Liberia.
Okay.
So you want to send a message to the people for that 1 minute before Mose leave?
Sure. This election is about the Liberian people. You, the Liberian people. Anybody who listening, anybody on my voice today, you have to decide your life from 2000 to 2017, those 12 years, your life from 2018 to 2023, compare with the vision and competence of Mr. Cummings to bring a change that he has clearly laid out. Do you want that previous thing? Do you want the current thing? Or do you want a new dynamic that enables us to move? That's the question for you. Nobody can beg anybody to vote. Some people will pay you, but you eat the money and vote for your children, for your future. Because as it is right now, the government has had 6 years, and all the time they can be saying, oh, if your Christmas will be good, you know on the eve.
Yeah.
These past 6 years have been bad. The eve before the eve did not move the needle. What we talk about, somebody earlier said that those 12 years they were supposed to set the tune. Madam Sally failed. She failed. But in her failure, she is still better than George Weah because she had an international network that there was some trickle down to the people. In this dispensation, everybody's suffering except the few. No trickle down. We want that to change. We don't want trickle down. We want people to earn their own money on our community administration, be able to have a job, be able to really have the Papa come where you can come home with something for your family. So the responsibility is up to the Liberian people. This is their election to win or their election to lose. And they have to make the right decision.
Okay. The voice of Mr. Vah Tukpa, we're going to continue the show right after this because we're going off the radio in Liberia now. I want to thank our listeners in Liberia who listen to us. We'll be here next Tuesday again on Rare Power FM, and we hope you'll join us then. Thanks for listening, and we want to say studio in Liberia, you can take control. And Mr. Tukpa, I'm going to stay here and do the rest of our team.
All right.
Okay. And I will change a little bit. The last time you were here, we were talking about the book. Mm-hmm. So we'll come back to politics again. But when you were here the last time, we were talking about the book. How is the book? Is the book selling?
No, when people sabotage something, there's no need to face it. The book is there. And that's the thing about book. It can always be revived. Okay?
Are you saying it was sabotaged? What happened?
With all the noise behind it, yeah, it was definitely sabotage. So that's just simple. It's an uphill battle to sell to Liberians. But we also working on trying to see how we can translate it into other languages. That's one of the advantage of having a material already that's available. But
so we are not selling as expected.
No. The book will sell itself. Whatever revenue come, it come. It was not something to say somebody trying to get rich off. Most time writers don't get rich. You gotta be the mega writer for you to get rich. You know, you may sell a good amount of books, but most of it going to the publisher. You know, and not coming to you, except you put yourself and being able to do everything, the whole vertical. But that was not the case. So it's not. The book was an informative book. The sad part is the content of that book. Since most of our people can read, they missed out on the positive aspects of George Weah. They really missed out. They just focus on two phrases or one, basically. And the thing is, he talks. He said he has never come out to say, "Oh, I didn't say those things." Have you heard it? Have you heard him saying no? And he can challenge it in a court of law. But they wanted to take my life because of that. You know? And that's nonsense. But hey, the focus right now is for us to see how we can make a difference, how we can change this bad leadership that we have today, how we can move some of the incompetence out of the country, out of the leadership roles, and bring competent people in. And those 40 people who said they're supporting George Weah, many of them will not return to the legislature.
But it's just like your children, you go play football, like we said previously before you came, and your children go on the field and start clapping for you. Even if you miss a goal, they'll say clap. Papa, kick a ball. So, for gentlemen, Paul and Mark, if you have any question for Mr. Tukpa as we'll be wrapping up, we only on the internet now, so you can throw your questions, you can ask or anything.
Yeah, my goal, because the thing
You
is,
can go, Paul.
Oh, I thought you
I'm cool, and I know I enjoying the conversation. Also, it's good at flowing. We also, although we off air in Liberia, but we're on the online radio, and we're
Yeah,
also
go ahead,
on,
Paul.
yeah. So as
we can go
we
back to the
move,
politics, though.
yeah.
We can go back to the politics.
No, it doesn't matter. We know Liberia. I want something I wanted to talk about. Honestly, is about the southeast, because the southeast have shown us that if what happening there combined with Monserrato and Grand Bassa County, people keep saying this election will go to second round, but as the way the message keep going and people keep gravitating towards Mr. Cummings, there could be 50+1 election in the first round. From what I'm looking at, and something that we're not picking up, we're looking at, oh, it'll be, because I know when Monserrato will fall to the CPP, Grand Bassa will fall, the Southeast will fall. Nima have not come into play yet, where you got CPP have a huge number of supporters there. So the way things are going, we are looking at Cape Man and Bombing too. Mr. Cummings won there.
Remember that bell, you know, that's
Yeah, so
because
this election, from what I'm looking at, it could be a
take from
first
there.
round thing here that people playing with and are looking at it from a distance. I don't know what you guys think, but that's how I see it from my end. So, Mark, I know you're a philosopher. You look at things from a different perspective. So, what do you think?
Yeah, I'll let Brother Isaac go.
All right, somebody keep.
Somebody calling him again.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Paul, you made a good point, because you know, like Mr. Kwame had just started the second phase of the tour. He's been going before, but at least right now the heat is on, and he's in the southeast, and we see what's happening. So imagine if he will go to Nima, and for me, I really want him to go to Nima. Let him tour major towns in Nima, and let's see the turnout, you know, and compare it to this big news that the rescue tool will make a big difference. And I can tell you, I can show you that Nima will be a big battleground that people will be surprised, you know, from what they're thinking. That's just what I feel. At least we have seen what happened in the southeast. So Mark is vindicated. Southeast was well represented, so we are vindicated.
Yeah, I mean, y'all see it from the distance. Cape Man have not come into play yet.
Even the Pharaoh Lofa we're talking about. Yeah?
Well, and all of it, you see, also you said something about this travel thing, when it start, if people start going that travel line, then I think Mr. Coming will win the thing. We are not looking at the Musa Berete, the Mandingo ethnic group yet. So all of these things will come into play. So what they're preaching now, it may come and bite them. Honestly, if you go on that line, then you get a Mandingo, you get a Grobo, you get a Basso, then you get the people from Cape Man and Vah, because Charlie Uno Viance come from there, so they will be pushing that side. People not looking at it that way. That one round thing are looking at here from a distance. As they talk to us.
Well, on that level, ANC people can be very. So I'm a realist and I'm practical. I don't think, except for Charles Cedar election, I think I only one round election, right?
Yeah.
So it's a tough thing, you know, and the work has to be like, you know, like how you got some kind of bomber plane on top of you and they just shelling. If we can do that politically, where we just shell the counties, the districts, the communities, the people houses with committed people, maybe something are possible. But I believe we get United Parties to support us in the second round. And that's where we win. Because the United Party people, they cannot deceive themselves and see us in the second round instead of we support CDC. Some will do it for money, obviously, because those guys empty the coffers. That's what I'm saying. You know, he has to start looking for where we have money from to ensure that his commitment, that people's salaries are paid regularly, will happen while we're starting to generate revenue. Because there will not be revenue in the government coffers for us. You guys already take it like the piggy bank, you know. And I think Berlusconi, our criminal who died recently in Italy, we found our president going to that funeral. That will be wasting your taxpayers' money again.
Oh yeah, that's his body. That's right.
You know.
But I'll me cut you off here small. Let me interrupt you. You see, when I had my dream about Charlene, I was told that ticket were bad.
Do people know? Yeah, your dream. Did you put your dream on air?
But I tell you, the ANC people were engaged. They only they said it was bad. It was the way they described it. That ticket was what political suicide to have that ticket. And I coming back again say the thing that one round. And I see it from a distance. It will happen. So if those two
maybe man, man.
that's what I'm saying. We are positive this thing is just one round. People just hitting out. I'm telling you, I'm not divided thing. I live in Bon County out. I live in Lofa out. Nima will cut Nima in a way that you see maybe 25% of that Nima vote will go to the CPP. I can guarantee that. The Basso bill will fall. The Southeast is just showing a glaring. It will fall. So now Cape Man going to fall. So look, the other one, and we put all our numbers together, that 50 plus 1 here. This will happen. The thing just start talking about the second round. You call for the victory, it will happen. But you keep calling for second round, the second round will happen. But we calling it a big round one.
Hey, round one mean we gotta get like
yes,
get 900,000 votes. It's not impossible, but it's about work. It's about commitment.
I agree.
The envelope, because you know we're not giving up Lofa. Lofa will fight Lofa. We'll get some things in Lofa.
Oh yeah.
Stuff in Nimba. Monserrato I believe Joga will probably come there in Monserrato. All I know is CDC people can make will come there. And the stuff is the way it's playing out, and the way the CDC is shaking in Grand Judea right now. Grand Judea gets on board. It's a wrap for the Southeast, you know. So Sano, one of the lawmakers down there, he just switched over to the ANC from what I heard.
Yeah.
That's scary for them. That's scary for them in Sano. So we know the group people are in our Southeast. We know the group people is the third largest tribe. We know the group people, you know, are kind of spread. Nearly every county you go to, they got group.
Yeah.
The group people are spread out. So the chances of numbers in the various county, and if they want to work for Mr. Cummings, and support him, they can try to convince other people. So it's about the messaging, it's about the mobilization, and definitely it's about the to facilitate those activities and make it happen. So the chances are very, very strong. On a high optimistic side, yes. And I'll be honest with you, many people are talking first round. I'm just, you gotta show me. I gotta go with you district by district, and you show me how we can get the numbers, and then I can be convinced about first round.
Okay.
When I go on the ground, that's what I would do: engage people, and go to some strategic areas and see how we get those numbers. If somebody can show me the crosswalk from election day, or from now to how we get 900,000 votes, I myself will be screaming every day, first round.
That's why we're all going to do the work. And when I was on the ground for the time I was there, the thing I did and the others that went for the voter registration, there was some game changer there. Then Charlene coming on board, it been addition to that. So I'm saying this thing is something that we get. If it goes second round, Cummings will be at the top, somebody else be second in this election. I can guarantee that. It's not going to be like, oh, he comes second to someone, but it's glaring.
You could be onto something.
Yeah.
A lot of people, out there, they tend to be a little hesitant because in their mind they say, oh, Mr. Cummings can win, I'm going to waste my vote for. But with a momentum shift and people now starting to believe Mr. Cummings can win, those people who feel Mr. Cummings is actually the better candidate, but they're trying to chase numbers, will now reverse and start.
Right.
So there could be I can't discount what you're saying. There could be something there. I'm just one of those show me people. I gotta see it.
That's right. You're right.
Yeah. Saying they pray. I say, show me the action behind our prayer before you tell me say go and answer you. So let's see the action, and then we can be convinced.
The reason why I'm saying this because 2017, when we're on the ground pushing this case, people say, "Oh, we'll let Mr. Cummings, but he's our second choice." That second choice, those people are still around. They have not left.
Yeah.
Most of them still there. They don't talk, and they see how things are going, and they hated Unity Party at that time. Those people still there. So now, and you see that race, you have strong contenders in that race, and they're not around anymore. So this is the opportunity. Those people that voted for Mr. Bronsky, he's no longer around. Where do you think that vote will go? Benedict Euro also in that race. He's not running anymore. There are a lot of them today. So you can find that that people refer to as the silent, they don't talk, but they're there. Then that addition, those who coming on board now, go on.
No, I said the silent majority, they're definitely there.
They're there.
And
So
this could be a very good turnout. The more people who come out to vote, the better chance Mr. Cummings has, because Charlene is inspiring people. Even people, one guy was telling me from his church, a group of young ladies that he know that said they were supporting Boyka. Since Charlene got nominated as the vice standard bearer, they have shifted. So in different pockets across the country, people are shifting, right, on their own. And then when she goes out to campaign, when Mr. Cummings go out to campaign and meet these people, and they can see that the personality that people trying to make him out to be is not what he is. He's married. He got 2 children. He got 5 grandchildren. Been married for 42 years. Okay? Now they want someone who got outside children. He ain't got no outside child. He's straight. So he got enough for the people to understand that this man will want. And he will take the message to them. He can work. Cummings can really work. I haven't seen too many people that work harder than Mr.
Oh, ragtime viewer, yes. I said, oh, ragtime viewer, yes.
So yeah, I got confident. Look, I believe I can put Mr. Cummings in front of and then 50 persons, and he can come away with about 27 to 30 of them on his side.
Mm-hmm. And I think I understand where Paul is coming from, but also I want to start with Mr. Tukpa because you see, for me, I always like to leave that big room around me so that I can turn around. You see, and we all see, but elections are all about hard work and making the message to sound good in the ears of the people.
Right.
When all the people now who cry, every time I go on Facebook, I see my Unity Party friend, they're crying, oh, you're giving our money, and you're trucking. They say they truck people from Moria to go way to Maryland. So that barrow.
So the rowing court for us?
No, the road face. So and then but you see, if there was not anything happening, they would not be complaining because what we used to hear was the normal thing. Oh, we get and the men get normal 7%. Now that is disintegrating. They are bringing the travel car. Soon the travel car will disintegrate. They talk about the gate, and you all accuse the man of being that kind of character. But now one person since 2017, 18 been going around. Now one person has come up and show himself and say, okay,
so
there is some.
Guys have not played that video with Obey on the show.
We got it.
Okay,
we play it.
You play. Let me see. Yeah.
Okay, maybe Paul can lay hand on it right now. But like I was saying, they have played all the cards, took the mayor to court, nothing working, and the group are talking to court. They are disintegrated. Well, they're talking, so that's why I don't understand.
Oh man, so now when you got nothing on somebody, you bring all the lies that will just bounce. Will just bounce off the person, and the person will continue to.
Okay, I'm gonna play it now.
Yeah.
Open nation. I said, look at the one. Now you don't want to see the men are gay. Oh, right now in the people restaurant, the girl want me for a meal. I was so because I was looking around the place, I was so crowded, foreign guests all over the place. Now you don't want to say the men are gay? You call the men gay? And that gay thing, I invented it and I stuck it on Ellis Kume, and it's stuck. Shit. It's stuck. Today that gay thing stay on Ellis Kume. It was something I invented. And the way I did it, I called somebody from Atlanta, where you are living. So I created a story, and I called the person and attached the person into it. The person is a big librarian guy too. You say, yeah, my man, I will tell you that truth. So I use that person as a reference. That information. So that's what we did for Josh Weir to get him to where he is. Shit, man. Politics is a big game, man. Yeah, so I'm not confident. That whole gay thing I invented it. Yep. And then how's gonna pick and working right? Publish that story, the one about his wife and everything. Shit. That's something we did for Weir, because Weir couldn't talk. We not even want for Weir to come to the microphone. We don't want him to come to the microphone. Because if Weir come to the microphone, it will be hard for us to defend it, because that man, he can't talk. Yeah, that man can't talk.
That's it, my people. But it forces his own mouth.
Yep.
That Mr. a nice guy. Here in the US, you go and sue that man for slander.
Absolutely.
By suing for slander. Because defamation is a serious thing, and that's his own confession. He can't run away from it. They subpoena all his records, his email, will see everything, his communication across that whole story when who you are engaging with, who you are not engaging with. But Mr. Combs is a nice guy, so he probably doesn't want to, sue a citizen. Wow.
Yeah. The way people now, that nonsense is dying away. When people bring it out now.
I'm now showing the videos to anybody who has concern.
Yeah.
So you get the man who allows somebody to admit that allowing the man. It's a wrap, for that case. So,
yeah.
And then they manufacture that whole thing with Mamandi. I struggle with this left style, and He had an understanding there with understanding this lifestyle, the movie, with the understanding and say, I struggle with this lifestyle. They also struggle understanding how people can live that lifestyle. And they went and manufactured like for the tape to put it out there like that. So
I mean, the thing is clear. Like I said, nobody has come out to confess.
culture and say, oh yeah, I gay. What kind of African politician would do that? It's just crazy, you know. But we've been through that. I think it's clear to the people what Mr. Cummings stand is that he's a family man. He respects, you know, different people's rights, but he's not in that lifestyle. That's not his thing. He's married, has his 2 kids, got 5 grandchildren, and he's definitely not gay with all the labels they put on him. So that can be the rest. So basically, I see a wide open road for Cummings, and he can decide whether he going down to the southeast, whether he going to the west, whether he going to the northwest, whether he going straight north to Lofa, or whether he going to the northeast with Nimba. So the road is clear for him. The opportunities are there. The message is resonating with the people. Then when you bring in Councillor Bumpskin with her energy, her commitment, her drive, her ability to deliver the message and be able to fully represent the campaign at its best level, I really, really think Paul onto something. I just don't want to buy in too early. You got my own, my mother be when I buy it out.
So the thing is, when I used to play football, to beat my team, that other team have to work extremely hard. I hate defeat. So I always on the positive side. That's it. And what I've seen, I'm going now, I'll be in Liberia in July. I will be there until after the election. And what we did, I'm just gonna follow up. I got a whole accelerate group in Satan. And my nephew is now running to be the community chair. So if he win, the whole of my group in Satan is backing Mr. Cummings. That how so it's just Satan alone.
And you know what you're doing? There are multiple people with the small groups that people not recognizing
Exactly.
Cummings. When you know, and for me personally, maybe some people won't keep this secret, but for me, I want to identify each of those groups, know the membership, get their directory, be able to contact them, get them information as it come out, the messaging, let it across the country, across all these groups. If we can really do those things and be effective with it, a real trouble.
And the thing as what the reason why I'm saying there because what we saw people going to the various counties, you saw Duke and others were in Bond County. It's just to say that when we all hit the land, we're going to spread all over the place.
Go where your strength is.
Yes, that's so we're being positive. The radio calling you people get tired with it, but I think what happened when they get a slap majority of them, I think JFK will have to build another mall that some people just be dropping with heart attack.
No, we
And
don't do that. We
this-
need a lot of people in the private sector. We need a lot of people who can function. The opportunity is there. You know, it's just amazing. And the way Mr. Cummings want to change governance, the way he want to plug the holes where our revenue is just leaking out of this country, you know, in nearly every aspect, where people are stealing, where people's lifestyle can just change. I mean, you know, it's so easy to identify those people who you can do an audit bit.
Very easy. Very easy.
They say LACC commissioner, they will have a special team that just focus on lifestyle audits.
I mean, it's glaring all over the place. Their fingerprints are everywhere. And those are the people who are very dangerous because they have acquired these things in a very short period of time that they cannot account for. And so they don't want to relinquish power. They go threatening their friends and they can go to the extent to do anything just to protect it.
That's where it's from. That's why a lot of people in this government today will be threatening and be trying to make statements and even trying to destabilize the election for fear in people that they shouldn't come vote. But I don't think the people will be scared. I do not think in these elections, those people who want change, they will come to vote and they will vote trying to make a difference, which is okay.
Let me add this on it, and maybe Mark will chime in on this. Mr. Cummings have a huge diaspora base across the globe. Everybody have influence over their brothers and sisters, cousin back home. That diaspora factor is there. And we saw that in the 2020 senatorial election. To get Darius Dillon, it was the diaspora base that got him there. So if you look at the diaspora base, those who cannot go on the ground, they also have influence. And those who go in also. So when I'm seeing this, I'm looking at it from a wider perspective that they think he could surprise the country on the first round. And that's my feeling. For some reason, I have the feeling. And I think we'll keep pushing the message. It will gravitate to a lot of people that Mr. Cummings will win the thing, and people will start coming on board.
We not who I will get excused to right now, the people who work in government is scared because they got to keep their job.
Yeah.
But don't be afraid. The numbers are there for Mr. Cummings. You see, I would rather lose fighting for my principles and what I believe is the right thing.
Yeah.
Win and be compromised, you know? So for those people out there, and there are many people out there who are kind of on the fence about what they should do, take courage. Go with your hard decision. Go with what you believe will be best for Liberia. Forget about winning or not winning, because the win will come. But go with your heart. Support the candidate you think is the best candidate who can move our country forward. Don't be scared. Don't be ashamed. Stand up.
Well, I think our time is fast spent, Paul. For me, I think we got a substance out of the discussions with Mr. Tukpa. He's one of those who, whenever we have on the show, will add flavor, and he will discuss the issue down to the bone. And so I think it was a good show from my end. And I don't know what you guys think. And I really don't have any more questions to ask Mr. Tukpa as the time is fast spent.
That's true or not? Well, Tilia, you were finna leaving JMB tag team.
But long time. Nothing happened long time, but they're keeping a secret.
Yeah, but now they announced a steward and a patriot of high distinction, but Yape Gono as the new chairperson of the Ambassador Joseph Yima Boyka tag team 20 effect.
Like I've always said, between now and October 10, there will be a lot of calope. You know, when we was small in Latin, we play tate thinking calope. People big calope.
You know, before we leave for the next minute, in this life they say what goes around, comes around. The beginning of this tournament, the surrogates, the UP, they were all after Mr. Cummings. And then what happened? People, as the train kept going, everybody somersaulting one by one. They wider mob, I'll say your Peking Costa, who were going behind Mr. Cummings back to back. I'm sitting down and I bought a bottle of Jack Daniel and just waiting. What would be their response for what happened to them? And that would be the day. And then we'll talk on this 50+1 in the first round. So these are things that will happen. Tell her you right now, she's not part of that team. Let's watch and see what will happen when Ure and his group start to hit back.
That's what you they oppose. When people repay your good with evil, you leave God and continue to do more good. Distance.
Well, I think, Paul, on that note, we can wrap it up. And Mr. Tukpa, we want to say thank you very much for responding very promptly. And we hope to have you back again. This is where we discuss our political issues. And as Mr. Cummings and the CPP are fortunate ahead, we hope that the momentum can remain as it is. And then we'll move on to Elections Day. So thanks a lot. And We hope to see you again.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Mr. Tukpa, before you go, I'll need to call you after this program. Call you right away before.
Okay. And anytime, guys, we gotta keep taking the message to people. We gotta keep delivering. And it's good that you guys have radio access. You just need to publicize more that on Power FM, Red Power. Your show will be coming on. It will be there. So congratulations on what you're doing. You guys have been consistent from the start. Where your other member? Where is she?
Oh, Jamal, he's at work tonight.
Honey,
Oh, Andre.
Rita? No, Antrick.
Andre.
She's somewhere around.
Okay.
And we want to say a very big thank you to Mark, because Mark is the one that has been pushing buttons to even get to ASIC.
Oh my, that pressure, man.
I know. Mark said I'll do it. And I asked him, he said, "My man, the never consent the best he come here." I said, "You sure?" He said, "Oh, I tell man come here." I said, "Okay, very good." So I want to say big thank you to Mark also. And Mark is trying to catch a big fish in the water, but that one can. I'll say no way for it. Man, the way I can ask him, when I ask him, when he tell me it happened, then I know. So that one will keep it secret small. And I beg you, keep it secret small. And do not let it go. So then, Mark, you got any final thing for me? I feel.
Yeah, I just want to say, thanks to, first of all, to the Liberian people, the voters back home. And like everybody been saying, it's about the country, is not about an individual. And Mr. Cummings always used the word we. He's not talking about himself. He always used an inclusive statement. Yeah, about we. It's always we. Mr. Cummings never go anywhere to say, oh yeah, I. You always hear him say we. That tell you that he's a leader, regardless of those that support him today, even though he's in the fight because of a lot of people, the tens of hundreds of thousands of people that believe in him. Mr. Cummings could have lived, a lucrative life in a part of the world, a first-class life, but he's in this because the hundreds of thousands of people that put their trust in him from both back home and the diaspora. So that is why Mr. Cummings is in this fight. And he's also in this fight for even those that don't support him. He's in the fight when he becomes president. He's a president of Liberia, not for CPP, not for ANC. And some of the best minds will come from the opposition, and Mr. Cummings is, a leader and a manager. He will listen to even those that don't support him. Some of them got the best resume, some of them got the best idea, and it's going to be a government of inclusion, not government for CPP or ANC or how they call it, Liberty Party. No. So I just want to say voters should use their minds. Don't let your brain, your brain be a vessel that just receive message, but you can think for yourself. And I want to thank Big Brother Isaac for answering the call. We need to have people like this on to disseminate Mr. Cummings' message to the Liberian people in the lowest term possible. And Big Brother Isaac, I can't say much, but just thank you. And I wish that you will use your influence, that anybody who want to get on, so through you, we can have them to come on the show to help us spread the message the best way possible. Even on the internet, where we got 2-3 people listening, gradually the message will get across. So I thank you a lot, big brother.
Lay out some of those people working on policy to be able to come on here and talk specifics, on some of the policy items.
We will appreciate that, sir. We will appreciate that. And thanks to my fellow panelists for the show tonight.
All right. Goodbye.
I'm going to call you in a minute, yeah?
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so Paul, take us home.
Yeah, guys, it was a great show. And the radio station is getting better little by little. We gave them a credit. I spoke to CC today. They have put new internet facility in place.
Yeah, even though you're going off and on, but at least it was a little bit constant.
So we get in there. And Mark, thanks for bringing Ava. It's good. It's teamwork. And on this note, I want to play the nice music that, because it's CPP time and Mr. Cummings were in, how they call it, his visits to the southeast. So I think we should play Mr. Cummings' music. What you guys think to take us home? And Linford, what you guys think?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I'm going to release this one, Mr. Cummings that born. On a note to our listening audience, thanks for being with us. And we're back here on Friday. We'll have a guest, our studio guest on Friday. We'll be discussing, the flyers will be up. So join us on Friday, the same old time. And on that note, I'll say good night and listen to this, Mr. Cummings that bomb.
Album, Mr. Cummings album, album, Alexander Cummings album. He body explode. The leaders I love, the leaders I love, the ones I trust so much, they made a fool out of me. I've been praying to God every day, please give me a leader. He gave me a leader with love for his people. He gave me a leader who would deliver us from poverty. God look at Liberia with mercy from me now. He gave me my ABC, now you want to stay in my way. Somebody give me chest. ABC coming, somebody give me chest. I'm talking the talk and do, somebody give me chest. Talk and do, somebody give me chest. It's a coming, the talk and do, somebody give me chest. For better education, somebody give me chest. For good health system, somebody give me chest. For good infrastructure, somebody give me chest. Oh, somebody give me chest. Okay. Way back, you are giving me corporate. Way back, you are giving me small money. And you tell me, say, you are coming to face the road. And you tell me, say, you are coming to face the school. And you tell me, say, corruption was going to finish. But how come I never see you do nothing? I say, how come everything too hard? I've been praying to God every day, please give me a leader. Please give me a leader with love for his people. Please give me a leader who will deliver from poverty. God look at Liberia with mercy from me now. He gave me my ABC, now you want to stay in my way. Please give me chest. I said get up in my face, somebody give me chest. ABC coming, somebody give me chest. Alexander B coming, somebody give me chest. He coming with his partner, somebody give me chest. Solonte, Jeremiah Solonte, somebody give me chest. Solonte, Jeremiah Solonte, somebody give me chest. Jamegu, Lafiegu, somebody give me chest. Jamegu, Lafiegu, somebody give me chest. We talking but talk and do, somebody give me chest. Talk and do, we talking but talk and do, somebody give me chest. Talk and do, we talking but talk and do, somebody give me chest. I said you tell plenty talking, somebody give me chest. Talk, somebody give me chest. Talk, somebody give me chest. Oh, somebody give me chest. The leaders I love, the ones I love, the ones I love so much, they made a fool out of me. I've been praying to God every day, please give me a leader. He gave me my ABC, now you want to stay in my way. He gave me my ABC, then you want to stay in my way. He gave me my breakthrough, now you want to stay in my way. Enemies of progress, now you want to stay in my way. Please give me chest. I'm talking but I can do, please give me chest. Alexander B. Cummings, please give me chest. For good education, please give me chest. For good infrastructure, please give me chest. I say good health system, please give me chest. Oh, somebody give me chest.